Welcome to Dodgers Dogs. As part of the Dodgers Daily Network, Casey Porter here, joined by Austin Brubaker, Coach Holt, as you see on the screen. Gentlemen, what a game tonight.
3-0, man. Everybody want to keep talking about the shutout. It ended up being 4-2. I don't care. 4-3. We don't care. I mean, it'd been great to get a shutout, but it doesn't matter. Win by one run, and as I always said, Jimmy Valvano, baby, just advance. Win and advance.
Yeah, I kept waiting, Austin, for something to break in this game, and nothing ever did, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a strange game where you felt like there could have been several times in which the Dodgers could have capitalized a little bit more, and then they weren't able to. And then the Yankees seemingly had opportunities. They had runners on. They had runners in scoring position, yet they were not able to capitalize as well. Credit to the Dodgers for making some good plays. Credit to the umpire for making a few calls both ways that went in deciding some of the momentum in this game. The Dodgers have won 3 straight in the World Series and now are 1 game away from winning it all. I think we got to take a moment to be able to let that sink in a little bit. The Dodgers are 1 win away from winning the World Series. Life is good right now for the Los Angeles Dodgers. You couldn't be more excited about this right now. Dodgers have an opportunity tomorrow in New York to clinch and get the sweep in the World Series in one of the most highly anticipated World Series matchups. Right now, the Dodgers are dominating. It's great to see.
It is, Coach. Hey, and I know that strike to whoever it was, high in the zone, that wasn't a strike, fine, but neither was a 3-2 pitch to Will Smith with the bases loaded.
Absolutely.
Those things even out. I'm not listening to any of that crap from Yankees fans about how the umpire called that guy out. I mean, I'm just not.
Well, fans will always do it. Yankees, Dodgers, Stillwater Pioneer, Guthrie Blue Jay fans, Great Lake Loons fans. We're all going to, have a moment to whine about stuff. I got sick of hearing it from the TV guys. I mean, I know Joe Davis won it, whatever. They just kept on and on. Like, okay, let's move on here. That's not the first pitch he's
Smoltz
missed.
is bad about it.
Yeah, that's not the first pitch this guy's missed tonight. Move on. He's a human. We don't have the minor league where we're going to, we're not going to check it.
Sure.
What the hell, man? Get off of it. I mean, I just like, okay, yeah. Go back and talk to the 85 Cardinals when they got screwed in Kansas City.
Don Dinkinger. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Guy's out by 2 feet. But anyway, whatever. I'm just saying. That guy, he missed some pitches, whatever. But it's both ways. There wasn't nothing one-sided about the whole thing. I was more concerned the Dodgers pitchers are going 3-2 on everybody. I say everybody. There was a lot of 3-2 counts.
Boy, they were, weren't they?
And I just said, we can't keep getting away with this. But we did. Like Austin mentioned, we got away with it several times. That's a credit to the pitching staff. I think they said at the end of the game, and we said the same thing before the series. Starting pitching staff advantage Yankees, not so much. Hold my beer, back off just a little bit there, big boy. The Dodgers stars. And how about Buehler? We've been talking about this case ever since we saw him get lit up down at OKC.
Here, hold my beer. Not so fast, boy.
Not so fast on that one. We still got the best bullpen too. But I'm just saying, how about Buehler, man? Oh my God. Since we saw him in OKC getting lit up by a bunch of kids, and he just got better. But what
and dropping
awesome
F-bombs
kid.
with
Tough.
30 people in the stands, and everybody could hear every single F-bomb he was dropping. It was hilarious.
I was
loving every minute of it.
And they were talking about that tonight, how he would always, he was trying to be Walker Buehler, but he didn't have Walker Buehler stuff. Smoltz explained that real well, what you had saw in Oklahoma City and what we've all seen as he comes back. Gotten better and better and better every start. This dude, he was not nervous. He didn't give a crap where he was. He'd been out in the parking lot throwing these guys with a tank top on. It wouldn't have mattered. He wanted some. I noticed one thing. I did not know this, Case. You probably did, or Austin probably did. I totaled it up because I'm real smart, but no, I'm not. But anyway, so he's got 3 career starts in the World Series now. Buehler does. He's 2-0, 18 innings, 22 Ks, one walk. ERA under, probably 0 point, whatever it is. No run runs tonight, so. Big stage, it doesn't bother us. Was he a Vandy boy? Wasn't he a Vanderbilt guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's a Vanderbilt dude. Dealing at when Vandy's not even Vandy boys anymore. They don't have those kind of dudes anymore. They did then, and he's one of those nasty boys, Vandy boys, whatever the hell you want to call him. He still is. Yeah. I'm glad he's ours, and he has totally overcome everything he's had to go through. It's great to see.
Hey, Austin, before I said it to you, Coach, we mentioned in the pregame show that, that show that they're making, not show, but the T-shirt that they made off of the Kike Hernandez comment, right?
Where's mine at? Give me one.
Walker Buehler's at the top of that mountain of being the guys that represent that, right?
Yeah, they need to give him his own,
Yes, he needs his own shirt. Walker Buehler does not blankety.
Just hand him one. Everybody needs to just hand him. He needs to get the first one off the press, because he's earned that. And all the pitchers. I mean, the start, but he's the guy that has come back. In case we're seeing exactly what we've all been talking about. All three of us, Coach Barrikoff. This is this team grinds. And they talked about that. How many different ways they score. Real baseball. I mean, you mentioned
it's real baseball.
You put it on Facebook directly. Winning baseball plays. And they even mentioned on the broadcast. Hit by pitch, walks, leads to runs. The Dodgers are taking advantage, scoring in a lot of different ways. It just doesn't have to be the home run like it used to be in the old days when we'd get kicked in the World Series.
Or like it is with the Yankees.
Yes, absolutely. I'll shut up.
Now, not to say the Dodgers aren't hitting home runs, but they're also playing baseball, Austin.
Yes.
Great
pitching, defense.
This is a key component to this Dodgers offense, and something that we've been preaching a lot throughout the course of this series. This Yankees lineup is one that's going to take a lot of pitches. The Dodgers very much are going to take a lot of pitches as well, and you saw the plate discipline, the solid approach for the Dodgers. They got to Clark Schmidt early in this game. He didn't even make it through 3 innings. That is huge, especially when you're entering this part of the stretch where the Yankees are incredibly desperate, where they need the best out of their pitchers, where they need the best out of their arms. Now the Dodgers are getting look after look after look against each one of these Yankees relievers. It is because of the approach that a lot of these Dodgers hitters are getting at the plate. It's because they're able to draw walks, that there's runners on. When FreddieFreeman was able to hit that home run, his 3rd home run this series, his 5th straight World Series game with a home run. Absolutely incredible what he's doing. It is because they're able to draw a bunch of walks that they're able to attack a lot of these Yankees pitchers, that they're waiting for the correct pitches, that they're doing a lot of the smart fundamental things. I know the bunt play didn't work out, but it was inches away, or a block call at home plate from being
Edman needs to bunt that right-handed, not left-handed. If he's going to make that play, he needs to go right-handed.
Yes, and so
My
there's
opinion.
a lot of good, even though the Dodgers did not take complete advantage of the runners they had on. The more runners that you add on, the more pressure that you put on this Yankees staff.
Right.
In a 7-game series, it's very likely to have a lot of good things happen for you. And for this Dodgers pitching staff, they were really able to limit a lot of the damage that the Yankees were having, or a lot of the opportunities that popped up for the Yankees. They were able to hold them to without scoring any runs, albeit with that 1 home run that, in all honesty, end of the game, garbage time home run. Dodgers were, Michael Kopech was able to take advantage of the game at the end. I've been really impressed with the Dodgers' play discipline throughout the course of this series. I think it has put them in very advantageous spots. And then when they have opportunities to outslug the Yankees, which they have throughout the course of this series, they've been able to score more runs on top of that. But it's because of that and some advantageous hitting that has put the Dodgers in a really good spot, up 3-0 in the World Series.
It has been boom. Joe said this the best. It has been boom, which is good, Coach, but it hasn't also been bust, right?
No.
I mean, so if you can get the boom but without the bust, that's perfect, isn't it?
That's what I said. I think we all go back to being Dodger fans and the frustration we've had back in the days when we had the big boppers and all that stuff. Then you get down to in the World Series and it doesn't happen for you. That's the only way you can score. And this team has proven the entire year, but for a lot of different reasons, from the manager on down of the grinding, the dirt dauber, and the mentality to get out there and play. I mean, Freddie's playing with a bad will, and he's still got 3 home runs straight. I mean, I know he's better now than he was last series, but he played as much as he could last series. What a great guy, great teammate, set an example for all the guys in the clubhouse, and for him to come back. But it's not boom or bust. This team, like I said, they find a lot of ways to score. That was a great idea on the safety squeeze. It didn't work, but that's a great, that's exactly. I'm sitting there thinking just like you are. We're all thinking the same thing. Here it comes. As a matter of fact, I told my wife, best play in baseball. Then she looks at me like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was out. But anyway, I said, well, if you get the bunt down, it wasn't quite the bunt where it should be. If you get the bunt where it's supposed to be, it's the best play in baseball. But anyway, they're finding a lot of ways to score, and it isn't boom or bust. We've got the boom. it's painful watching Shohei swing. I don't know what it's going to look like tomorrow. Some people, not us, I don't know if these people know what the hell they're talking about, saying it's a lot worse than what people are saying, maybe some all-season surgery, but he's not coming out now unless he just totally can't swing. But, again, here's the old coach. I mean, he's still flying off everything, man. That's going to put more strain on the backs. Stay in there. I mean, he's still strong enough to drive the ball with one hand. Yeah. It's not like, whatever. I'll shut up. He's a $1 billion man, and I make a couple $100 a game coaching high school, so I'll shut up.
There you go.
It's really intriguing watching this Dodgers offense because, one, it's not boomer and bust. You got to look at that at bat with Mookie Betts, what he was able to do to drive in that run, hit it into the opposite field, work that count deep. But it's also with this Dodgers team, which we complain about it quite a bit with the boom and bust, having a lot of swing and miss, having a lot of strikeouts. Throughout the first 3 games, game 1, they only struck out 4 times. Right. Game 2, 6. This game, only 7 times. And the Yankees have struck out in each game a lot more than what the Dodgers have. Their offense is putting the ball in play. They are working counts deep. And they're doing a lot of the things that the Yankees, honestly, are trying to do. They're trying to be the type of offense that this Dodgers team is. The Dodgers are just executing, and some of the small plays, some of the small margins, they are taking advantage of. I think the marginal game, especially with defense, with what the Dodgers are able to do defensively throughout the course of the series, is really adding up, and you're seeing the smart, fundamental play of a lot of these Dodgers players just continually adding up. Really cool to watch this series.
Yeah, and we mentioned that the bad base running of the Yankees, the good base running of the Dodgers would be a margin that we thought would make a difference. It certainly did tonight. Coach, we have, in Austin, we have a super chat again from Roy Song. Roy is absolutely the man. He says, hi, Casey, Coach in Austin. 1 more to go. Don't want to put a damper on the win tonight, but don't understand the Edman bunt with 1st and 3rd no outs. He's been so clutch. Your thoughts? Thanks, guys. I'll go ahead and attack that, and I'll let you guys leave your thoughts after that. First of all, I love the play because the lead was at 3 at that moment. Mm-hmm. As a coach, what you try to do is you do your best to get the lead to 4, because when you get that lead to 4, we saw this the other night when the Yankees loaded the bases. Even if they hit a home run, there is no one hit that can beat you at that point. So I love the fact that the Dodgers were trying to get that to 4. And yes, Tommy Edman is clutch, but he also is a great executor of the game of baseball. We've already seen him execute that 1st and 3rd bunt. So what's going to happen is he's going to bunt that thing hard down the first base line. First baseman can't crash. You're going to score Gavin Lux, who is a fast runner, from 3rd base. You're going to give yourself that 4-run lead that statistically is a massive advantage over a 3-run lead. Then you're also going to put another guy in scoring position as you turn the lineup back over to 3 Hall of Fame players. It was a great play. It was not executed properly. And again, I'll say that that's a more difficult bunt to pull that bunt as a left-handed hitter, like Tommy Edman did against the changeup against Canely when he went righty on righty. If Tommy Edman is going to do that in the future, I think he needs to turn around to the right side to make that a push bunt instead of a pull bunt.
I think it's the same thing. The first time we heard the term bullpen game, we're like, what the hell?
Yes.
This is the playoffs. Nobody does that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're like, but we said at the time, it's not a good decision. It's the right decision.
It's the right decision.
Same way there. That's not. You're not. They're probably not going to do it with anybody else on the lineup but Tommy Edman.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe Luck. I don't know. Probably not going to have anybody else run that play. It was perfect. 1st and 3rd, no outs. Get the butt down, score a run. You got another man in scoring position with 1 out with the big boys coming up. So it looks like hell when it doesn't work, and it does. But and it was pretty dang close to working. I mean, if they're going,
I think it actually did work. I think Lux actually was safe.
I mean, they can't block the plate like that. I mean, yeah. But anyway, they're not going to do that unless the situation is right. And I thought it didn't work out, but I'm like you guys. I'm sitting at home going, here it comes right now, getting a run in, moving the guy over, and it didn't work. And he's right. I mean, I don't think anybody else on the team they would do that with, but Tommy.
I agree.
Yeah. In generality, for me, you're not going to see me holding up a foam finger, being the number one fan of bunting in the game of baseball.
Sure.
I'm a little bit more new school with that. In that situation, I think it made a lot of sense. I think it just was executed poorly. I think they've laid out a lot of key details as far as that, but also a detail with runners at the corners. You also run the risk with a guy like a Tommy Edman, who can put the ball on the ground quite a bit when he's hitting, of running into a double play, which would score the run, but doesn't allow you to add an additional run on top of that if it was executed appropriately. And let's say they just go and make the play at first, or if they try to make, I think if it was executed properly, they get the out at first, you have a runner at second, you score a run, and you have the opportunity to add on an additional second run. I think that probably, especially with the math, which you got to think when you're talking about run scoring matrices, which is where the don't ever
take him when you can get him
kind of takes it out. When you have Shohei Ohtani, when you have Mookie Betts, and when you have FreddieFreeman, that's going to increase those odds of your ability to score with runners in scoring position going forward. So I think that's another thing to keep in mind when talking about this. I don't want to spend too much time on the Tommy Edman bunt. It didn't work out, or at least that's what the call didn't work out. But in the end, the Dodgers were able to find a way. I think I like that they're trying to find unique, creative ways to score runs, and they're being aggressive. And I think this is a mindset that might be a little bit different from this Dodgers team to other Dodgers team, and I think it's especially implemented during the bullpen usage. You look at the way that they're implementing their bullpen arms, their high leverage arms, especially earlier in this game. Walker Buehler was absolutely phenomenal, but it took zero hesitation to say, hey, we're going to go with our high leverage arms as soon as it goes to the third time through the order, and we're going to use them right away immediately. And any sign of trouble, we're going to bring on Alex Vesia to come and limit some of the damage. I think they're being smart. I think they're being aggressive and trying to find unique ways to limit the run scoring opportunities as best as they can for the Yankees, and find new ways to just add on a couple of runs and provide a little bit of additional margin for them to win games early in there. So I think I like the way that the Dodgers are playing and attacking this, so I have very little complaints with that.
Hey, Coach, Walker Buehler, I thought, early on, you said a lot of 3-2 counts. Even worse than that, there were a lot of, 2-1 counts. I mean, he was getting behind in the count, which to me was a little bit of a mirage in the sense that it wasn't all bad. Because I said in the pregame, the one thing I was really, really concerned about with Walker Buehler is that over 70, 80, 90 pitches, he's going to make 7 or 8 mistakes. And his mistakes this year in his games he's given up runs have been like hanging breaking balls, and they go like 900 yards, right? So I think the mistakes today were not being in the strike zone in parts of the zone to where the Yankees couldn't hit it, versus his mistakes being hangers. And so I think although he was getting behind in the count, he wasn't making mistakes that was getting him hurt, and then he was able to be clutch and then pitch backwards out of those hitters' counts. That was very impressive.
I was getting ready to say that, use the same term you just did there, or some people call it effectively wild.
Yes, yes.
You don't want it. Some guys are too much around the zone, and guys wear them out because they're around the zone all the time. Sometimes it's good to be effectively wild, and like you mentioned, Case, you're able to pitch back. If you're able to do that and still able to pitch backwards and get out of it, there were some situations, there were some things early when it's 2-0. There's a couple of innings there. I'm like, oh crap, they're fixing to get some momentum, and it's only 2-0, and we got out of it, and then we took the momentum, kind of pulled the momentum back away. They didn't have it yet, but they were on the verge of getting it. Of course, then T.O. makes as good a throw you can ever make from the outfield.
Oh,
perfect throw, perfect tag by Will. No chance. I mean, that's perfect. Textbook, video it, show it to kids, show them how to play outfield, how to throw the home plate. Oh, it's great, but they had a couple opportunities, the Yankees did, to pull it. That crowd's ready to erupt. I know that those guys, they're probably nuts. I love it when they show their crowd. You talk about passion. The Dodgers got them too, but I like those cats. I mean, I gotta love that. Even if you're not a Yankee fan, I love baseball, and I'd love to see that passion of their fans, especially when we're up 3-0, like Austin said. I can, they're good old boys now that we're up 3-0. We were down 3-0. I'd be cussing them out here. But anyway, I do love the passion of their fans, and the Dodgers are able to. It doesn't bother our guys. I mean,
oh no,
these guys. That's the whole deal. I mean, we've been talking about this all year. All of us have. This team grinds. This team. They got the $1 billion player up there hitting leadoff.
Who's given them really nothing this year.
No, really.
They're doing without him and Tyler Glass now,
yes,
right? Basically.
Absolutely. The big ones. But that trading deadline, man, that was money. The trading deadline was money for the Dodgers. And, the front office deserves all kinds of credit.
They do.
The scouts, everybody that have made those moves this year. And, get off our – I'm not going to say – I mean, he's still got another game to win, but our manager has been tremendous at least these last 2 years. I'm pissed off, too, we didn't win. But last year, he was, handed a turd sandwich and handled it pretty well. And he's had a lot of bites of sandwiches this year with everything that came his way from the lineup and the pitcher. So he's done a great job. And like I said, we're not done yet. The Yankee, I mean, it has happened. Has it ever been had in the World Series 3-0?
No, I don't think it has in the World Series.
I know the Red Sox did it to them in the playoffs in the championship series, but I don't think
it's even ever gone to a Game 6 in the series.
Yeah,
it is not
in this situation.
No,
yeah.
I think I mentioned on there 24 World Series have gone with a team leading 3-0. 21 of those 24 have ended in a sweep.
Yeah.
And 3 have ended in Game 5.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I mean, you just watch a game. Case, we all watch it. As coach, you just said the Yankees. They are so flustered. You can see it. They're pissed off.
They're rattled.
They're rattled. Jazz Chisholm's ready to punch.
Austin Wells is begging, not swinging the bat, begging instead.
They're just pissed off. I'm surprised Booney hadn't gone nuts. Maybe he hadn't pulled. He
knows, Coach. This isn't the team to go nuts on. They're not going to win. He knows that.
I think he's probably
that as a manager.
These guys are better than us. I'll go back. I'll go down swinging what I said before. And the Yankees may come back and beat us. I still thought the Padres and the Dodgers were two best teams in baseball, and they played.
It's kind of proven out to be that way. Of course, the job is not done yet.
Nope.
But hey, Austin, this was a perfect case scenario. Just kind of a perfect storm for the Dodgers. Clark Schmidt had never been in this situation. He is what I call a spin doctor, meaning he has to rely on a lot of breaking balls, a lot of spin. He has to move the ball with his two-seam. He has to move the ball with his cutter. Then he has to rely on swing and miss with that knuckle curve. When you're nervous and your muscles just don't feel right, okay, and then you have a team in the Dodgers that are going to give you no help in chasing the zone, that was just always going to be a difficult ask for Clark Schmidt tonight, and he never looked comfortable.
Yeah, no, he just wasn't able to execute, and the Dodgers provided him no ability to be able to relax, to get settled into this game, and they chased him out incredibly early in this game, which was of no help to the Yankees bullpen, which I think could have used some rest going into the later parts of this series. The Dodgers, you got to give the credit to the Dodgers hitters and what they were able to do. They came in with a game plan. They have had a game plan throughout the entire series, and they were able to just go out there, execute, be patient, lay off some of the spin that was out of the zone, to fight off some pitches. I go back to that at bat from Mookie Betts that was able to score that third run where he's able to fight it off into the outfield. I think that is a perfect representation of what this Dodgers offense was doing against Clark Schmidt to this point. Just really good fight, really good battle, and forced the Yankees to be able to make some really tough decisions, and ultimately they had to pull him out. The Dodgers were more prepared and ready for this moment than Clark Schmidt was tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a good point here, Austin, I think that Cole's making, and that's that the Dodgers have been to the World Series quite a bit lately, right? The Yankees haven't. And so, I mean, this really looks like one team knows what to do when they're here. Like Mookie Betts has been, this is a group, and Dave Roberts, the manager, this looks like one group has been in the World Series, they know what to expect, and one hasn't, and they don't. I think that's a very fair comment to make.
Yeah, that absolutely is a fair comment. This Yankees team, although we kind of expected them to have the experience to be there in the World Series, they don't at all. And that is because they haven't been in the World Series in 15 years. This Dodgers team has been in the moment consistently. They have battled through adversity. You look at the path of how these two teams got to here, and I think it's pretty clear that the Dodgers went probably through the tougher path to get to the World Series. So you have fought against tougher competition. You have had to overcome more adversity this Dodgers team has. And now the Yankees have the biggest adversity that any team really has had, down 3-0, looking at a mountain that nobody has climbed over in the World Series. And you wonder if that is, and you would expect that that's too much pressure for this Yankees team to be able to overcome, and especially with this Dodgers team that smells blood, that realizes that the opportunity is there to grasp. I expect this Dodgers team tomorrow to go out there and be all forces trying to go out and finish it and not get to a Game 5, at least on the offensive side. Pitching-wise, they're going to get some of their length guys to be able to provide some length and provide a little bit of rest to some of the arms in the bullpen, at least early in the game. But if you have an opportunity to finish the job, and I think this Dodgers team, they obviously realize that they have an opportunity to clinch tomorrow, I think they're going to do everything they can to do it.
Coach, are you a little bit worried? I mean, obviously everything's great here. So, I mean, we're totally – to find anything bad, where it's a total nitpick. But we've seen the Dodgers do this before, knowing that they've got to save pitching and that, this and that. With a 3-0 lead, are you a little bit worried that tomorrow we'll have a big picture look to it?
I don't know that it will, because we had to use some guys tonight that are normally in that bullpen game. And I don't know if they'll have to be able to come back with them, or we're going to see our boy – see my turtleneck guy out there. He'll get out there and deal for us. And,
yeah, he could just go 9 innings, right?
Yeah.
He may do it. He may just come out and deal all day. That's my guy. But he'll Enriquez, I mean, we got some arms out there. You don't want a big picture. Yeah, we've got to win 1 out of 4. I don't think we're going to look at it that way, but you have somewhat. You got to be smart. We stayed away from trying tonight, which is good. He'd gone 2 days in a row. Or 2 games in a row. It's kind of good to give him.
And he looked not as good the second game.
No, the second day did not look as good, and he. So this was great. I saw him. He did get up in the ninth. I don't know how many warm-up pitches he threw. I don't know if they got him hot. They probably did on the home run, but probably had to. But at least you had to stay away from him. I mean, so you got some. You still got some. Phillips didn't pitch. I mean, so we got some stuff. We got some people ready, but. A bullpen game is a bullpen game, so you're going to have to use some people that you originally didn't plan on using. I don't really believe they're going to. It's the same old thing. I don't think they're looking at it like the big picture. They're also looking at it like we can't be dumbasses. We can't go out here and
that's a great point.
We can't go out here and put guys in danger of hurting somebody. We're on down the line. Remember the old snowball effect? We talked about it with our guys.
Yeah.
Look at the Yankees. Austin mentioned it already. They went to bullpen early. That's going to show up the longer this series goes.
Worst case scenario for them tonight. 3 games, you have to win all 3, and you have to go to your bullpen in the 3rd inning. I mean, that's worst case snenario.
They don't have the bullpen the Dodgers have. So
right.
You just Dave and them they're going to try to win tomorrow. They're going to go all out to try to win the game. They're not going to be dumbasses. If you're going to look at it, that's one way of looking at a big picture. We're not going to put anybody in danger of like this is stupid. We're trying to win, but if we do lose this one, we still got 3 more games. We can't be stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. I think how the game goes early on. If the Dodgers have a lead, I think they'll go for the jugular.
Yep.
If not, it'll be interesting to see how Dave manages that. But, hey, I've gotten a million DMs, Austin, about why isn't Michael Kopech the closer? Why isn't he the – well, okay, so I said it right off the bat in this series. You have to have a breaking ball that you can at least make them think that you can throw for a strike to get these Yankees hitters out, because they will mash a fastball, okay? I've been screaming that from the mountaintop. You saw that tonight from Michael Kopech. He does not have a breaking ball that even threatens the Yankees for them to even think about swinging at it. And we saw even Alex Verdugo, their 9-hole hitter. Doesn't matter how hard Michael Kopech throws. If he can't land his breaking ball, which he can't, okay, then they are going to hit him.
Michael Kopech has an electric fastball. His stuff is absolutely electric. There are certain ways to approach these Yankees hitters that we've seen have a lot of success. There's a reason why Aaron Judge has not had an impact on the series, is because the Dodgers have had and executed a game plan largely relying on a lot of different off-speed stuff to get him to chase, to get him to swing and miss out of the zone. I think that is one of the ways that you can go and attack this Yankees lineup. And with Michael Kopech, when you match his stuff up with this Yankees lineup, it doesn't match up perfectly with some of the off-speed stuff, as you had mentioned. He's still able to get a lot of these Yankees hitters out, and I think he can still be effective in that, as he was able to still close out that inning, gave up the 2-run home run during a part of the game where Dodgers were up by 4, so it didn't ultimately matter in the end.
Made me sweat.
Yes, yeah, especially with that top of the Yankees lineup starting to creep up and come up a little bit.
If they would have come back and made all the way back to 4, that would have been the series-changing events right there, right?
If they came back and they either tied it up or won that game, we would have a completely different show. The Yankees would have all the momentum. The Dodgers right now have the momentum. I think they have a lot of different arms that they're throwing at these Yankees hitters, and I think they're going to get a chance to see some new arms that are out of the Dodgers bullpen tomorrow, with likely Honeywell, likely a Landon Knack, and maybe a Ben Kasparius as well, whatever the Dodgers and Dave Roberts have in mind for this bullpen type game.
I've got to say, I don't mean this to throw shade, but I was like, get Brewster's ass out of there, man. Not that he's not a good pitcher, coach, and not that he's not, but he hasn't pitched at all until, this is the second time back. And then also, he's not necessarily a breaking ball pitcher either. And I was going, oh, man, he's going to hang one of those 98-mile-an-hour two-seamers. And Judge or Stanton or one of these guys is getting ready to hit the ball to the moon. And it was right in the middle of the game, and I was like, so I'll say this to say I was like I was a little bit leery when he brought him in. I was like, I don't know about that. I was so pleased when he gave him the quick hook, though. I hope that didn't sound too negative, Coach.
No, not at all. I mean, the pitcher of the Dodgers that started against the Dodgers, he's all running together. Was it the Mets or the Yankees? The guy that's only thrown 5 innings all year.
It was yeah.
It's the same type deal. That guy hadn't. I think it was a Mets series, wasn't it?
It was a Mets series, and they didn't start him again in Game 5.
No, he lit him up. I mean, it's not, the kids throwing 5 innings. Now, Vesia is a different deal. He missed one series to get over. He had a minor injury, but they didn't have him on the roster for the championship series, but he's back in the World Series. That's a different deal. He's been throwing. He's had his innings this year and just had to rehab, get well over a series. But, Gratterall, he's been out so long, he just hadn't had the ability to get the work in. If I'm like you, Case, hey, you need to come in, blow somebody's doors off. See, good job, get out of here. Go get something to drink. We can get something to eat. But I don't know. I felt the same way.
Yeah, he just made me nervous, Austin. Am I being too harsh there? Kodai Senga was the name of that Mets pitcher, by the way.
Yes,
my bad.
I wasn't as concerned with Brewster. I mean, I think with he's one of those pitchers where, yes, it's a lot of fastballs, but I think he can also generate a lot of ground balls. And I think you saw that throughout the course of his outing, and a lot of his outings, his ground ball percentage is very high for what he's able to produce. So he's going to throw that fastball. A lot of times it's going to be going right into the ground. So at this point, with some of the arms that the Dodgers were able to throw out there, I'm glad that they saved some of their arms for a little bit later. I think Brewster, because he hasn't pitched a whole lot this season, makes me a little bit nervous, but also is one of those somewhat fresh arms out of the bullpen that they're able to use. Provides a little bit of different look, and I think you're relying on him to be able to generate those ground balls. And then he goes out there, first pitch 101 that he's able to throw out there. So I'm not too worried about Brewster. I trust a lot of these arms out of the Dodgers bullpen. I think they have proven beyond a doubt that we can trust and rely on these Dodgers bullpen arms with what they have done throughout the course of the season and throughout the course of this postseason as well. I think they built up enough credibility to this point, and they haven't blown it for me yet. So I still trust them.
Dave did not hesitate to take him out, though. Yeah, Coach?
We've seen the good and the bad of that, though. We've seen a great, a shutout with a bullpen game. Then we saw them get lit up, so there's always that. But that is a part of a bullpen game, If you just got, like we talked before, if you just got a guy or two that are not on their game, you got a chance of blowing up in your face. But the Dodgers they've already proven they have the arms and the ability to have that bullpen game and throw a stinking shutout because they have that type of ability if every guy's on. So, but it's great. If it was so great, everybody had been doing it all this time. They're not doing it. The Dodgers did it out of necessity. It's
very taxing.
It's been good. And the great thing is that the starting pitches has been so good that if this series does go longer, I think the Dodgers are in good shape. Like you mentioned, Gratterall's fresh. Some other guys, we haven't had to throw them as much as we did the previous 2 series.
Well, I mean, we're to the point, Austin, to where if the Yankees came back and won this World Series, it'd be the greatest feat in the history of Major League Baseball. By a long shot. I mean, that's not an exaggeration.
That would put to rest for the Yankees at least in part, their biggest failure, which was when they blew a 3-0 lead to the Boston Red Sox in 2004. That would put to rest a lot of those narratives, because then they can point to, in the World Series, we were able to overcome that against the best player in baseball in Shohei Ohtani, and the Dodgers, with all the star power that they have on the team. I don't think it's going to happen. I have a lot of confidence in this Dodgers team that they're going to be able to do that. However, that does require, when you have an opportunity to be able to finish them off, you best not miss. When you have the opportunity to finish the job, you have to go out and do it. So this Dodgers team can't, just like what we talked about after the Game 1 win, they can't celebrate too early. The job is far from finished. You have 27 more outs if it comes down to a Game 4 and you have a lead, to be able to go and win a World Series. It's those small, marginal plays. It's the plays that they've been making throughout the entire series. It's the diving plays, the diving stops to save a run. It is
2-degree line drives up the middle to score Gavin Lux, who walked and then stole a base. That kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff. It is even the defense that we've seen, in part from a guy like a Max Muncy throughout the course of the series. Teoscar Hernandez with his throw. Those small, marginal plays.
Hey, great point. Max Muncy's been great at third base.
He's been absolutely
knock on wood. He's been good,
yes.
man.
Yes, he's been
and Lux
really,
has been
really
good
solid.
at second. Those are our two biggest concerns defensively. Hey, the Dodger dogs heard the knot, man. They're ready to tear somebody up. They're
my bad.
Chomping at the bit, baby.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
Casey,
my fault.
did we miss a super chat earlier in the show?
I don't think we did we?
Because I know we got one from Roy Song. I think we also got one from
Alex the God right here. Starting pitchers playing out of their minds, so huge considering how injured our starting pitchers have been the past 3 years. Free Tommy Tatter's bat. MVPs don't bunt. $5 from Alex the God. Thank you, Alex. That is awesome, isn't it, guys?
Big Al, baby. He knows the game. He knows the Dodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Austin, I'll say this. I am not a big fan of bringing in pitchers in the middle of an inning. I like to let him start a clean inning. Having said that, Alex Vesia has been brought in the fireman's role twice in a row. This tonight wasn't quite as big of a situation as Game 2 whenever he came in and put out that last fire there. But it still was a big situation when he came in. Boy, how good has Alex Vesia been in that fireman's role?
He's been great in the fireman's role. Dave Roberts is playing the matchup game, and it's working out incredibly well. And what's amazing about that is we didn't even know if Alex Vesia was going to be able to make it into the World Series, and he has come out in some of the most important moments in the game. Just absolutely incredible what he's been able to do. Alex Vesia just been absolutely phenomenal for this Dodgers team. He's electric. He's fired up whenever he makes a big out. You just love to see that motion, that leadership that he's going out there, and the execution that he's pitching with. Alex Vesia has been nothing but spectacular, and Dave Roberts has done a really good job. I know it can be frustrating. It lengthens the game, which is why it was a 3.5 hour game. A lot of these games are 3.5 hour games because they're changing pitchers mid-inning. A lot of it has to do with they're looking at individual matchups and seeing what they believe is going to best position themselves to have the greatest advantage possible. And Alex Vesia, they're just putting him in at the correct spots, and he's taking advantage of the matchups and the lineups that he's facing.
Coach, we have a comment here from Norm Lee. He thought he was the biggest play of the game tonight was Teo throwing out Stanton at the plate right after. So this is the big part of this. It wasn't just the fact that Teo threw out the runner at home plate. It was right after the Dodgers squandered their opportunity on that first and third bunt. And you're like, oh, damn, man. I mean, the Dodgers didn't take advantage of this. Now here come the Yankees. They're getting ready to score, and you're feeling like this is the momentum shift, the only kind of momentum shift that could have gotten the Yankees back in the game. And so that felt like a bigger play than just saving one run.
No, and I loved it on TV during the live broadcast. We could see the left fielder, and you could see the runner, see the third base coach. I've coached third for 100 years, and you too, Case. You know, the rule, you got to make sure the outfielder's caught the ball and you're not the bag yet. You're not sending him, and vice versa.
Right.
Whether or not you're going to send him. It looked, I don't think Stanton's that slow, but it looked like to me when he ran
he didn't look like he's running to me. But
I'm sitting there thinking, we got to make a good throw. This guy, I didn't know he was going to make a perfect throw. That wasn't just a good throw. It was And I was getting pissed at Lux earlier. That he kept looking as he's on second base and base hit. He kept looking back at Judge, and he ran
just
the third,
run,
looked
dude.
again. I said, dude, just go. Just freaking run. What are you looking at? Third base coach has said if you get thrown out, it's on him. But anyway, so that was big. I totally agree with that because that right there, I mean, they score right there. I mean, they got the momentum. You get that crowd into it. They're just waiting to explode. They hadn't had the chance to do it. They were chomping at the bit to do it. And there were times they were getting ready. All it takes is a little bit of something to light that crowd up, and it can make a difference. It is baseball. It's not like football, but it does make a heck of a difference. The Dodgers, but I feel confident in the Dodgers. They've been around that stuff. There's nobody, there's no more crap coming out of the stands there was in San Diego or for the Mets. So the Dodgers, like I said, you talk about all the guys that've been in the World Series, Freddie with the Braves and the Dodgers, all these guys outside of T.O. and probably Ohtani. And maybe, I don't know if Edman made it. I know he's in the playoffs with the Cardinals probably, but,
no, he's never been in the World Series.
Yeah, he hadn't been in a World Series. But, I mean, those guys are battle tested. I mean, they've seen it all. I mean, in tough situations. And the crowd's not going to bother them. They may feed off it a little bit. Like, how you like this, big boy? Get some of this,
Absolutely.
That mentality.
Absolutely. Hey, Austin, I know the Yankees aren't hitting, but neither are the Dodgers. I mean, there's no way that you can say this is I know that they're scrappy, they're tough, they're making winning baseball plays, as we've said a couple of times, and they are hitting some home runs. Freddie's hit one, however many games in a row now. But still, this isn't the best version of the Dodgers offense, I don't think either.
This is not the best version of the Dodgers offense, which makes you feel optimistic about the rest of the series because I think eventually, because of the plate discipline that they've been able to show, because of some of the swings that they've had, I feel confident that this Dodgers offense is going to break out for one of these games if it gives them enough time to be able to do so and they don't win another game exactly like this. I think there's so much more for this Dodgers offense to be able to go out there to explode, to go out and produce a 7 or 8 run performance. I think they have more than the capability, and their plate discipline and the opportunities that they've shown that they can produce have more than alluded to the fact that they could score that type of run or have that type of run environment. Dodgers offense is not firing on all cylinders right now. They're just doing more than what the Yankees are, and that small margin is making all the difference in this series.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. And Ohtani obviously injured right now, so I think that's playing a part in it. But Will Smith just doesn't look real good. Max Muncy's chasing the zone right now. Teo had the one good game, but he has been off. So there is definitely a better version out there. You just hope that the Yankees stay that sleeping giant, right? Hey, this is from O'Donnell Boy, Coach. From Sarah Langs, check this out. You'll like this. We're going to go here 10 more minutes. You guys got 10 more minutes here?
Sure.
Till 11:50 our time. Austin, that's 12:50 your time.
Well, I got to work at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, too.
Oh, goodness. We'll go 10 more minutes. You got that, Austin?
I will try not to fall asleep.
Okay. All right, this is from Sarah Langs. Check this out. Pitchers with 3+ World Series outings, of 5+ innings pitched, and 4 or fewer base runners allowed. You know how many pitchers have done that ever in the major leagues? Uno, Walker Buehler. That is it. How about that? Let me say that one more time. Pitchers with 3+ World Series outings, of 5+ innings pitched in those outings, and have given up 4 or fewer base runners. Walker Buehler is the only pitcher ever to do that. What a stud.
1 walk and 22 strikeouts in 18 innings. Yeah,
wow.
Right on point there. And like I said, the Vandy boy's got it in him. He was dirty at Vanderbilt, and he's just grown up to be a bigger, dirtier guy. And mentally, his fastball doesn't have the velocity he had before he got hurt, but he's learned how to pitch. He's still got enough, and he got a lot of swing and miss on his fastball tonight. At least early in the game, there's at least four swing and miss or 6 swing and misses on the fastball they were talking about on the broadcast. So he's learned the new edition of Walker Buehler, and it's pretty damn good.
It absolutely is. Hey, Austin, here's a great point from Ryan R. The people on the outside the Dodgers organization that don't follow the Dodgers every day or don't care, they're never going to understand this because they saw Stein, Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glass. Now, they will not understand the difficulties that this season has presented. But Ryan, I agree with Ryan here when he says with all the injuries and sensitive off-field situations like the Ohtani deal, this team has suffered this year. this really has kind of been just about half of a miracle that the Dodgers are this close to finishing this off. I mean, I agree with that.
I agree with that. I think you look at especially the pitching injuries that racked up, especially right at the end of the season. It was even a question for us whether Walker Buehler would have been part of a postseason rotation sometime in late August when you had a Tyler Glasnow going, when Gavin Stone was on top of his game. Gavin Stone was pitching far superior than Walker Buehler was, and so you take all of that and you throw in all of the injuries that this team has overcome. You take all the the on-field injuries for the offensive side. Remember, Max Muncy was out for a good, significant portion of the season. FreddieFreeman dealt with a lot of family stuff that pulled him away from the game of baseball. Mookie Betts was out for a large portion of the season as well, and yet this organization still found a way to be able to win games. They found a way to win the West when they had some really good competition, not just with San Diego, but Arizona at one point was pushing the Dodgers a little bit or trying to creep back up there. This team has fought through a lot of adversity, and I think especially if you're around it, when you understand it, when you follow a specific team, you have a deeper appreciation for what they have had to overcome. And I think the Dodgers have had a lot to overcome, just like I'm sure there's a lot of things that we don't know about the New York Yankees that they have had to overcome throughout the course of this series. I just think with the amount of injuries that have stacked up with some really young, talented arms that are part of this Dodgers future, part of this Dodgers team, I just think they had to see them make it to the World Series, to see them have a 3-0 lead with 3 starting pitchers that they feel comfortable with right now. You just have to feel so confident with, or so amazed with what they've been able to do this season.
No doubt, Coach. Hey, this is a great point from Ryan too. Although Ohtani is injured, he's not necessarily, being Shohei Ohtani like he normally is. Still, just having his presence is a huge deal for this lineup.
Yeah, if we can just get him on base, his swing, we may not see him get another hit. But, if he can get on base and, he's a great base runner, he can steal bases, and his presence there, they're still going to allow for it because they can't be totally stupid with him because he's still strong enough to do some damage with his right arm. That's his lead arm is he's swinging, so that's probably why he's still in there. There's certain pitches, especially the ball away from him, there's no way. If he gets there, he's going to be in pain. He's not going to be able to, if he can get to it, even though he's strong enough to do something there. But, they still have to have a game plan for him and to try to attack him best they can. But it's still great. Of course, I'm sitting there now, during the course of the game, getting nervous. I'm going, let's get him out. No, hell, you can't get him out of there. There's nowhere to go there. That's not happening. We're not bringing anybody else in to do it right here because he's still that guy that, if they make a mistake, with one hand, he can put his other one behind his back. He can still get a line drive somewhere. May not go out of the park, but he can still do that. So he wants to be in there. It's kind of when Freddie was playing with a bad foot. Those guys, are going to play. And Austin said it, and we've been talking about it all year. We all have. I think Robert should have been the manager of the year last year, and he should be this year. He probably won't win either one. I don't even know if they picked one. Don't give a damn. We want the World Series, to win the World Series is all anybody cares. I'm sure that's all he cares about too. And also, I'm guilty as heck of this. I don't give enough credit to Mark Pryor. He's with those.
No doubt.
We talk about handling the pitch staff. Dave's the one that's going to make the final decision. Mark Pryor's with those guys all the time. He's in the pen with them, starting back in February, out at Camelback Ranch, and probably in the off season with the guys. He probably. I'm sure he does. Like every pitcher, even my pitching coach at Stillwater High School, he's with those guys all the time. He even go run with them, eat with them. When I chew them out, he go baby them a little bit. But whatever.
Yeah, right.
Those guys. Mark Pryor has a lot to do with the success here too, and I'm very guilty of that. And I know he ain't listening, but if he is, I'm sorry, sir. You've done a great job with this pitching staff.
Yeah.
I know Dave makes a final call on it, but somebody's getting prepared. And he does go out and visit. He visits the mound a lot during games in clutch situations, so he's not a total moron, which we knew he would. He's obviously doing a very good job being a pitching coach, but I want to apologize. I just don't mention him enough.
Yeah.
Because Dave is the one making the moves.
Good call.
But there's a lot more as we say going on behind the scenes here, and Mark Pryor deserves a ton of credit for that.
Hey, Coach, you'll like this. I'm going to just shoot this to you, not necessarily for a comment, just so you can hear this. Okay. This is directed towards you. The great Dodgers Dawgs fans that we have here, best baseball crowd on earth. We say it all the time. We actually have a comment that Alex Vesia is the new Al Roboski. How about that, huh?
The Mad
That's
Hungarian.
good, isn't it? That's some good stuff. That's from Christopher Navarro. Coach, and also we have Austin. We also have, I'm going to relieve you with the final thoughts here, Austin, with our super chat from Christopher Navarro. Thank you so much, Christopher. Fab Five Freddie, World Series MVP, Buehler on his way back. Coach Casey and Austin, do we sweep tomorrow? Austin, yes or no? I'm going to leave you with that.
Yes, the Dodgers are going to sweep. The Dodgers are going to win the World Series tomorrow. That is at least my prediction for tomorrow. I have a lot of confidence. I think this team is feeling it right now. I think this Dodgers offense I think they still have a lot of confidence, and I think with what we've seen from this Yankees lineup, they haven't been able to hit the Dodgers pitching. I think there's going to probably be a little bit more opportunities for the Yankees to score a little bit more runs. But when you're one win away from the World Series, when you have a 3-0 series lead, and when you have the opportunity to be able to clinch, I think the Dodgers are going to take every single advantage of that and try to get FreddieFreeman off of his feet a little bit. Try to get Shohei Ohtani to rest some of his shoulder. I think they're going to do every single thing that they can because they have the opportunity to do so to clinch it in New York. I know it would be great to celebrate a World Series win at home in Los Angeles, but I think it's even better to get it done, to get it over with, and just win the World Series tomorrow. I'm going to predict yes for that. Thank you again for Christopher Navarro. I'm super excited. Couldn't be more thrilled. I'm hoping that tomorrow night that we're on this thing celebrating a World Series title and just having a good old time. This is what baseball is about. This is what the Dodgers have been fighting for. This has been an organizational push that they've been going to, and I think the Dodgers realize that. I think the Dodgers can smell it, and I think they take advantage tomorrow.
Coach, yes or no? Dodgers are going to sweep tomorrow.
I think they are. Dave mentioned, we always go back to remembering the clubhouse. 11 more wins. Now they got one more win. So
one more.
We talk about the Dodgers. Yankees aren't hitting. Dodgers aren't hitting. In every sport, we always say this: if you play your best, they play their best. Who wins? It's the Dodgers. If that's the case, if both teams start hitting,
we said that from the start.
Well, they're capable of. The Dodgers are the best team. So yes, and I will say they're going to sweep like Austin did. It mainly because the body language of the Yankees. I mean, what is it? Not Judge. Judge don't ever really show a whole lot of that. And I don't think Stanton does either. And Rizzo's been in the battles and the wars.
Great dudes. Great competitor, great dudes, great baseball players.
So flustered. Yeah, those are. We're all baseball purists. I love those dudes.
Great player.
They're great players. I love them they're great for the game. I want them to lose, but I love them to death because they're baseball guys. But the rest of those cats, there's a lot of frustration going over. I'm surprised Booney's held in pretty good, so he's not panicking yet. But I'm sure the hot seat.
He looks resigned to me.
Yeah, Steinbrenner's not around, so he won't get fired during the middle of the game or anything. But they're getting a fight or whatever. But,
and then rehired by the ninth inning.
Yeah, you won't get fired on the tarmac like some people. Yeah. Anyway,
smoking a cigarette.
He's going to be at home. Yeah, and the Dodgers. Hey, let's go ahead and. There's also something to be said. It'd be great to win in your home field, in your home park, and celebrate your fans. There's also something about grinding a little bit in Yankee Stadium.
Well, you know where they clinched in 1981, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same place.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. There's something about, hey guys, check this again. Hold my beer. Hey, watch this. We're going to celebrate on your field. Anyway, I'll shut up. Yes, I think they'll sweep tomorrow just because I know these are major league, multi-million-dollar players, best players in the world. They're not babies. They're full-grown men, and they're great athletes, great baseball. I just see the Yankees are they're beaten. I mean, mentally. That don't mean they can't come back and win 4 straight. It's never been done, and I don't believe it'll be happening here. But I think they're really flustered, and I think it'll carry over.
Man, what a night it was. It has been. What a year it has been, and it has been another day, another great day to be a Dodger.